It was a very low-key start to the first UN-led talks in almost a year, as negotiators from the Syrian government and the opposition arrived separately for separate meetings with UN mediator Staffan de Mistura. Previous attempts to negotiate an end to the conflict in Syria have collapsed as violence escalated. But despite almost daily violations, a nationwide ceasefire brokered by Turkey and Russia is generally holding. And that's paved the way for these talks, dubbed Geneva 4, to take place. But expectations for progress are low. Just hours after the rival delegations arrived, the UN Syria envoy admitted he sees little common ground between the two sides.
I'm not expecting an immediate breakthrough from this round of negotiation, but the beginning of a series of rounds that should enable to go much more in depth on the substantive issues that are required for a political solution in Syria.
The problem with trying to find, once again, a political solution for Syria is that the rival camps remain bitterly divided over key issues. The biggest, of course, being the fate of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, because on the one hand, the opposition say he has to go, and on the other hand, Damascus says that's not even up for discussion. Away from the difficult diplomacy, a group of women whose relatives have been detained or have disappeared in Syria gathered outside the UN to demand that the fate of their loved ones be addressed during the talks. A spokesperson for the opposition says on the human dimension, they hope to achieve something here in Geneva. By the end of the day, there was a small but symbolic sign of progress. This is the fourth time talks on Syria have been convened here in Geneva, but it is the first time the rival parties have been in the same room.
I'm not expecting miracles. We face an uphill task. It will not be easy. There is a lot of tension and there is a lot of suffering that everyone has been bearing, but we must apply ourselves to this task.
The next big challenge for the UN will be getting the two sides to talk directly and to try and bridge their divides. Kate Parkinson, CGTN, Geneva.